Good afternoon, everybody. So, welcome back to the class. We are ready with your book, rough notebook and pen. We will start our class. Last class, we were discussing the second chapter. Then, will you tell the name of the second chapter? Yes, it is inside the earth, otherwise interior of the earth. Interior of the earth. Otherwise, inside the earth. Anything. So, there, our earth is made up of three important layers inside. What are those three layers which is formed our earth? Yes, crust, mantle, core, and in all these three layers we have further divisions. So that's what about all those things we discuss. Now about the three layers, crust, core, mantle, we discussed already. Then which is the uppermost layer of earth? Yes, it's crust. Then which is innermost layer? Which is innermost layer of the earth? Yes, it's a core. Crust is further divided into two divisions. What are those? One is continental crust and another one is, yes, oceanic crust. So about the continental crust, oceanic crust, we discussed the discontinuity which divides continental crust and oceanic crust is called as Conrad discontinuity. About this all we discussed, and I drew the picture of that, and I told you to draw the picture, and if people did that, that's good. And about the mantle, the upper portion of mantle and the crust is called as lithosphere. It's the uppermost layer. So crust and upper portion of mantle is called as lithosphere. Below the lithosphere we have another layer. What is that? Asthenosphere. So there in below we have upper mantle and the lower mantle. Mantle is divided further into two divisions. One is upper mantle and the lower mantle. Then the innermost layer is a core. Core further divided into two divisions. What are this? Inner core and outer core. So inner core is in a liquid or solid form. Outer core is in a liquid form. That's what we discussed. Is it not? Last class we discussed about the core. Is it not? So now we have another one concept. Like there are two concepts to discuss in this chapter. One is about the interior of the like three layers. Another one is about minerals. What is where we can get the minerals from? Where we can get the minerals from? Where the pocket, otherwise in the board, where you can get the minerals. Land is, you can say it's a land. Inside the earth or beneath the crust, you will get a mineral. So, mineral, where it will be there inside the crust. Crust is made up of what? Is not? What is that? Rock. Crust is made up of rock. That means we get a minerals from a rock. We'll get minerals from rock. We'll discuss deeply about this rocks and minerals. The next second important concept is about rocks and minerals. So what is rocks? What is rocks? Rocks like, rocks are made up of the minerals. It is composed of different types of minerals. In a one rock you can find more than 100 of minerals. Like you may find this in a beneath. As you go deeper into this earth crust, you will get a gold in the rocks. You will get a diamond in the rocks. Such a valuable precious stones or precious minerals you can get in the rocks as you go beneath the earth crust. In the upper layer, as you come up in the crust, you will get a somewhat minerals. But every rocks will have its own minerals. Every rocks. Around now 3,000 minerals are found. We know the scientists they found, they recognized, or they discovered 3,000 minerals in the rocks. So in that every rocks has a different mineral. So the rocks, it are the materials, natural materials, rocks. It has different formed by the different minerals. Rocks composed of different minerals and which are these minerals, where we can find these minerals which are naturally occurred or occurring with particular, otherwise with a definite chemical composition. So every rocks will have definite chemical composition and physical properties. So these rocks are found or is composed. It's made up of. These rocks are composed or made up of different minerals. So every rocks will have a different mineral in it. So different, and which are naturally occurred. These minerals are naturally occurred, and these minerals, it has its own chemical composition and physical properties. Every minerals. So rocks are found in a different colors, textures, and some rocks are found in a different size even. It will be having a different chemical composition. The every rocks will be having a different physical properties in it. Because suppose there is some more chemical compositions in that rock which is formed of rock, definitely it will be having more, and it will be having a different size or different color, different textures will be there in that rock, and different chemical and physical properties will be there in that rock. So you know the rocks are formed after cool and solidification of magma. Is not these rocks, as I told in the beginning of the class, our Earth was a fireball. It was a fireball earlier. It has become cool and solidification because of water and air, atmosphere and hydrosphere. Now we have this fireball inside the Earth, which is called as a core. And we have two more layers. One is mantle and we have another one, crust. So this core, it's even now also it tends to come out. It wants to come out because high pressure, high temperature is there inside. Wherever it gets a place, it gets out of the surface. So what we have inside the earth like a core is called as magma. It's a molten material. Magma, molten material. Now also it is boiling. It wants to come out. Wherever it gets a place, broken place, there it will come out of the surface. It's called as volcanoes. When this magma comes out of the earth's surface, it's called as lava. It's magma inside, it's red in color because I don't have red pen, that's what reason. So here, it's red in color, it's very hot. It's a fireball. It's a magma. When it comes out, it's called as lava. This lava again meet with the air, what we have in the surface like atmosphere, air and the water and the high temperature, low temperature. This lava, when it meet with all these things, physical properties and chemical properties, it will get hard. It will become cool. After it will become hard, then it will turn into the rock. It will become a rock. We call it the igneous rock. Name called as igneous rock. Then further again with the high temperature and the low temperature and many other things, it will get a piece into many pieces. Again it will form different rock. That piece goes inside the earth. It will be, again we call it a different name. And this rock formation is continuation. And we have a different chemical properties in these rocks which has came from this magma. This magma fireball, it has different chemical properties. It has minerals in it. It has different physical properties in it. So we get the minerals, whatever we get in the minerals or anything from this rock, it's from this magma. So that's how our rock is formed. This under surface, rock has formed because of this. So you know the volcanism. So rocks formed by cool and solidification of magma, otherwise you may say lava, on Earth's surface, which come out of which come out through volcano. So inside, if it's there inside, it's called as a magma. When it comes out of the Earth's surface, it's called as lava. Now when the lava gets cool and solidification, you'll get a rock. When the rock meets with the high temperature, low temperature, air, water, all those things, it will become cool and solidification, then we'll get a rock. So these rocks, every rocks has a different chemical composition and physical properties. So in these rocks, we have three types. So these rocks are classified, are divided, classified into three types. So we have three types of rocks. The rocks is classified into three types. Basic rock types. These are one, the igneous rock, igneous rocks. Then second one, sedimentary rock. And the third important type of rock is about metamorphic rocks. These are the three types of rock what we are having on the surface, and because of these three types of rock, our crust, lithosphere, has formed. So these three types of rock has came through these volcanoes. You know the process of volcano and magma. So we got information about the interior of the earth. It's not, we were discussing about a core and mantle. Nobody has gone inside the earth. We cannot go. We cannot get into the core. We cannot touch the core. We cannot go into the middle of a mantle. But we know the information. We know the information of core which is there inside the earth. Is not. We know what is there inside the core and mantle. But we cannot go there. We cannot touch that. So how can we get information? Because of this process, volcano. When the volcano comes out of our surface, like a scientist and the meteorologist, they have studied about that lava. And what are the things are found in lava? It's the same which is there inside the core, is not, of course, because it has came directly from the core. Core ಒಳಗೆ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಬಂದಿರೋದು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಲಾವಾ ವಾಲ್ಕೆನೋ ಮೂಲಕ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ವಾಲ್ಕೆನೋ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೋರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So that's how we got information about the core which is there inside the earth. And the same we got information about the mantle. Right on this we'll go for discussion about these rocks, different types of rocks. Right on? Is that over? Okay. So our crust is totally made up of rock, and mantle, even mantle also is made up of rock. So our crust, you may say, sir, we have soil on the surface, how do we say it's made up of a rock? So soil we get from the rock, is it not? The rock, when it gets under the process of weathering, and when it mixes with the dead remains of animals and the plants, and when the rocks gets under the process of or when it mixed with the organic and inorganic materials, and when it reaches high temperature, low temperature, when the rock gets under the high pressure, high temperature inside the earth, then that breaks in between the small pieces, the rock. So that is how we got a soil. So while discussing about the rocks types, and discuss about here the three types of rocks. What are those? Igneous, sedimentary, then metamorphic. Igneous rock is a primary rock. Igneous rock. It's actually the primary rock. That means it's a basic first rock. It's a primary rock. Why do you call it as a primary rock? Because we know how we get a rock. Inside we have the core, and we have a mantle, and we have a crust. So this core, it wants to come out of the surface because it's boiling. It has high temperature, high pressure. Because due to pressure, it wants to come out. Wherever it gets a place, as I told, it comes out of the surface through the process of volcano. Is it not? Soon after that, when this lava or this magma, when this lava get in contact with the water and the air, it becomes cool and solidification. After that, the next process is our rock. The first one, after cool and solidification, it will become a rock. It will become very hard. The first rock from the magma, after cool and solidification, is called as igneous rock. So the reason we call it as a primary rock. First rock, primary rock. So this, right, after cool and solidification of lava on Earth's surface, is called igneous rock. Otherwise, on Earth's surface, it turns into hard rock. It's called as igneous rock. So when, as I told, when the magma or the lava, when the lava gets cool and solidification, it becomes a rock. So that first rock is called as igneous rock. In the igneous rock, we have two types. There are two types of igneous rock. What are those? One, extrusive rock. Extrusive igneous rock. Extrusive igneous rock. Then intrusive igneous rock. Intrusive igneous rocks or rock. These are the two types we have in this igneous rock. One is extrusive, another one is intrusive. Right now about primary, it's called as primary rock. Igneous rock is primary rock, as we discussed. After the cool and solidification on the Earth's surface, it turns into hard rock, is called as igneous rock. Right on? So this igneous rock has a two division, or two types of igneous rock are found. One is extrusive, another one is intrusive rock. Right on? Is that all? Okay. Then we will discuss about these intrusive and extrusive rock. So intrusive rock, extrusive rock. Okay, we will discuss about extrusive first. Igneous, extrusive igneous rocks. You know what an igneous rock? Extensive X. So this what distance says extensive. The rock will get formed in outside the means in surface of Earth, in the surface of Earth. The igneous rock which are found in the surface of Earth. Otherwise, the formation of igneous rock over the surface or on the Earth's surface is extrusive rock. Intrusive rock, the formation of igneous rock inside the Earth. Extrusive rock, the formation of igneous rock outside the Earth. How it happens? How it gets inside the Earth? To discuss here. So as I told, because due to the volcano, one reason is due to volcano, these rocks are formed. Earlier in the 200 crore years ago, it has formed because of this water and the air. We discuss about that. Here now, it's a crust and mantle. We have a core here. This core, it gets a place and it's come out of the Earth's surface. As I told, this crust is not continuously connected, it has broken. The lithosphere is called as broken plate. It is broken, that's the reason it is moving. Here when it comes out of the Earth's surface, it's a core, magma inside the Earth is called magma. So it comes out of the Earth's surface and it gets cool and solidification. It's called as extrusive rock. This lava after turning into hard rock, it's called as extrusive rock. There are some rocks, means while this volcanoes, some volcano part of volcano that remains in the beneath of crust. Every volcano or every magma will not come outside. Some magma that remains in the beneath of crust, some magma, and some magma that comes out of the Earth's surface. So whatever the magma which has came out of the Earth's surface, that will become hard rock, is called as extrusive igneous rock. The remaining rock which remains inside the crust is called as intrusive igneous rock. Both are igneous rock because both are become hard and with the which is composed of chemical and physical properties particular. This has formed a rock after cool and solidification of lava or magma. Is not. So both are igneous rock, but the place is different. We can find this rock outside the surface of Earth. Here we can find this inside the crust or inside the Earth's surface. Is the two difference of igneous rock. Both are igneous rock, but the place is different. And have understood why it has remained there? Every magma cannot come out of the surface because the place will be it will not same. It's moving, it will be closed. This broken place will be closed because of movement. Then some remaining part of magma that remains there inside the Earth, then it's become cool and solidification because when we get inside the Earth, the temperature increases, pressure increases, density increases. When this lava gets under this temperature, pressure and density, that become very hard. So you will get a hard rock there. It's igneous rock. The rocks are lava which turns into hard rock on Earth's surface. Is called as extrusive rock. So this lava turns into hard rock. It turns into hard rock on Earth's surface. It's called as extrusive rock. So example, the basalt, like on the Earth's surface, how many percent of Earth's surface covered by the landmass? 30%. The means we have continents, important big continents like Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, South America, Antarctica, Australia, and other islands. So all these are called as landmass. Remaining part, which is covered by the water, like oceans, sea, this all called as water bodies. So 30% of our Earth's surface covered by the landmass. 30%. Here suppose it's Earth, we have suppose Asia, and we have Africa, South America, North America, Australia, Antarctica. So here only 30% of our Earth's surface covered by the landmass. 70% is about water bodies. Is it not? So here the 30% of landmass is made up of extensive igneous rock. So in the water body, what we have the bottom water body, it's covered by water, is not, it's filled by water. We have a bottom there. So this bottom is made up of intrusive rock, these rocks. Suppose it's an ocean. Here, this ocean is made up of these intrusive rocks. Our landmass, suppose we are here on the landmass. So this landmass is made up of extrusive rock. This bottom of ocean is made up of intrusive rocks. Is that clear? For example, basalt rock. That means the continental crust is made up of basalt. Continental crust is made up of basalt rock. It is example. In under the basalt we have another some divisions like many. Continental crust made up of basalt rock. It's about intrusive. It's a one type in under the igneous rock. Then extrusive. Extrusive igneous rocks. It's extrusive discussed. It's intrusive. Intrusive igneous rocks. Inside the lava which turns into hard rock inside the crust or in beneath of crust is called as intrusive rock inside the earth surface. It's outside the earth surface. For example, as like this extrusive granite. So continent oceanic crust is made up of granite. Oceanic crust is made up of granite rock. Granite means it is an example of intrusive igneous rock. Oceanic crust made up of granite rock. It's about the igneous rock and its types. Write down. There are two types in the igneous rock, and we discuss about igneous rock. Is not. Igneous rock is a primary rock, the rock which is formed the crust. Not only this, there are three. Is not. It's one of the rocks. In among the three types, it's one of them. Igneous rock. So in the igneous rock, we have two types. One is extrusive, the rock which get forms on the earth surface. After the volcano, we can find this on the earth surface. Then intrusive rock, which is found inside the earth, beneath of a crust. It's interesting. For example, our continents, countries, islands are made up of this expressive rock like basalt. It's the name of igneous rock, basalt rock. It's the expressive basalt rock, expressive igneous rock basalt. So inside the earth, like the bottom of ocean is made up of granite. So that means the oceanic crust is made up of granites. It's about igneous rock, one type. You should remember the name of these types of rocks. Igneous rock, sediment rocks, then metamorphic rocks. Is that clear? Have you written? Okay, you go for next type of rock. It's about sedimentary rocks. So, there is another one sentence or another one point for this igneous rock. That is, the word igneous, it is not English word. It is a Latin. It is derived from the Latin. Igneous. So igneous means igni, that means agni. Agni, that means rock. Agni, rock. Igneous. The word igneous is derived from Latin. Igneous is a Latin word. In Latin, it's called as igni is called as fire. In the Latin, igneous rock means fire. It is formed with cool and solidification after fire. Fire, what is the fire? The core, what we have, magma, it's a fire actually. It's a fire with a high density, high temperature, high pressure. So when the fire comes out of the surface, it will become cool and solidification. It's called as igneous rock. So that reason, it's called as igneous rock. In the Latin, it's called as igni, fire. In English, we termed it as igneous rock. Then we go for the second type of rock. It's called as sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock. So say this word also derived from the Latin. It's a Latin word. Sediments refers to broken piece of rocks. Otherwise, broken rocks or settled down sediments. Broken rocks are settled down. It's the meaning of sediment. Sediments, it's a settled down of broken rocks. Settled down. So here we'll discuss how the rocks is formed. How the sediment rocks. It's now igneous rock. Now we can see the igneous rock which is formed here, is it not? It is igneous rock. So this igneous rock that contacts with the high temperature, is not high temperature, wind and very low temperature, rainfall. So it will be contacted with these other things. Then this rock, it's an igneous rock. Igneous rock. So it is an igneous rock. So it gets very high temperature, low temperature, wind, water, all those things. Suppose, for example, when you get into the Rajasthan is a place which receives high temperature throughout the year. You will go there once. After the completion of this chapter, you will get into the Rajasthan. There, what you do, you should carry the bottle of water, like cold water. You should carry the one bottle of many bottles of cold water there. You will get into the Rajasthan. There, it's very hot, is it not? The rocks which is found in Rajasthan, because of high temperature throughout the day and the year, it is very hot. If you touch, you can sense that it's very hot. What you have to do, you have to pour the water. Suddenly you have to pour the water into that. What happens? Automatically the rocks breaks in between into some cracks. It will get some cracks. If you pour water into that hot rock, it will get a crack. And you may get some steams. Sound also may get in that. Isn't it? So this process, when it continues for thousands of years, this rock will become into small pieces. It rocks becomes into small pieces and that falls down. Suppose it has become like this. Then this is called as sediments. It's broken rocks. It's a broken rock. These broken rocks further carried by the wind and the water. And the water, it will be deposited somewhere else. Settle wind. ಈ ಒಂದು ಗಾಳಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಮಣ್ಣಿನ ಕಣಗಳ ಅಥವಾ ಇದೊಂದು ಪೀಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಪೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರಾಕ್ ತಗೊಂಡೋಗಿ ಒಂದು ಕಡೆ ಇಡುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ವೆಲಾಸಿಟಿ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, settling down of rock pieces is called as sedimentary rock. So our earth surface last layer, that is outer layer, is a sedimentary rocks. Our earth surface is covered by the sedimentary rocks. That's how the sedimentary second form. It's a sedimentary rock. So these all the pieces will be gathered. It's a sedimentary rocks. So this is second rock which is formed after the igneous rock. Is that clear? So yeah, I will write point about this all the sedimentary rocks in the next classes. And I hope understood about this explanation which I have given for you about the igneous rock and the sedimentary rock. Sedimentary is nothing but broken pieces of a rock which settles down. It's a sedimentary rock. Then after that, with the mixing both igneous and sedimentary rocks, you will get a metamorphic rock inside. That means with a high temperature, low temperature, and with a high density and the pressure, it will turn into the metamorphic rock. So when the same process happens, now it will become the sedimentary. Again the volcanic rock, again the igneous rock, and the metamorphic rock. Again igneous rock, metamorphic rock, igneous rock, metamorphic rock. This metamorphic rock that gets inside the earth, that means that goes interior to the earth like crust, beneath of a crust. As you go down towards earth, crust or earth, you will get high temperature, high pressure, high density. So when these sedimentary rock and this igneous rock met each other, suppose it meets each other due to high temperature, high pressure, that turns into very hot rock, that is called as metamorphic rock. In among these three, metamorphic rock will be having more minerals, metamorphic and igneous rock. It contains more minerals in it, and igneous rock, then the igneous rock, metamorphic rock is harder. Sedimentary rock is not much harder because it's broken pieces. So I will write down the points about the sedimentary rocks in next class because time up. We will discuss. Now about the minerals and the rocks we studied and discussed. About the first type we discussed. Is it not? I hope you understood.